Charity never goes unnoticed, sir. A penny here, a penny there, all one step closer to heaven. It was early on I learned how to survive on the street in winter. It's hard in any weather, devilish in summer, finicky in the fall, the best in spring. But winter is merciless. Here's the key. During the day, that's when you sleep. Churches that don't pay any mind are good, especially if the preacher's not too much of a zealot. If you learn to sleep upright, well, they can't tell whether you're praying or sleeping anyway. The livery is good, too, if the stableman's inattentive and the horses are quiet. Sleep deep and for as long as you can. Sleep is a precious thing when you've no bed of your own. But when the sun goes down and all the charitable places have locked up their doors for the night, that's when you walk in circles on the canal. It doesn't matter. Just remember to cover up. And don't forget the ears. Everyone always forgets the ears. I've known people whose ears have fallen off, they got so cold. There was the war. It was long and it was brutal. He never came home. Lost, dead, I don't know. I recall little but the pain from that time. But I survived. So many years. Too many years. My first night out on the street was in winter, so I learned well. I learned many things that night. A man from down by the river named One-Toed Joe, he gave me this knife that he'd fashioned from broken stained glass from a nearby church. He came up behind me and he slapped it in my palm, saying, "Don't ever let nobody take you for a fool." I tried. I begged. I wasn't too proud to do otherwise. Pulling yourself up by the bootstraps is an impossible thing to do when the straps are all undone. Most people say nothing, avoiding, walking by with their chins huddled to their chests. I don't blame them, not one bit. Others, they give you what they have. And some, too much. Those folks, you could see the shame on their faces. One night, a few weeks after the first, a particularly snowy one, I was walking around the corner up Elizabeth Street, and I saw on the other side of the street, right by the Presbyterian church, a shadow. A person, maybe, in a wispy dress, too thin to keep warm, but that didn't seem to matter. Anyway, it was very hard to tell through the curtain of snow who exactly or what exactly was there, standing so still. But there she was. Then, without me seeing her take so much as a step, she was in front of me. I started to speak, so much out of habit, so much out of confusion. "Ma'am, could you spare?" But then I froze. Now, I'm not religious, but I've never been a liar. My truth was a little too obvious for that ruse. But despite the snow, I could see a face that was both young and ancient at the same time. There was a glow over the crow's feet and the laugh lines, a sheen of youth that defied logic. Believe me if you want, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make any sense, but she was there. I was still dumbstruck, and I might have remained so had she not spoken. "I see we've found our way to each other tonight. Are you real?" "Real?" she smiled. "I've been here longer than real," she cackled back. Then with sudden calmness, she said, "I've been drawn to you many times. So much hate, so much resentment, and then the angry swelled in your heart. But there's been plenty of that to go around, and I've been satisfied. But no matter. Our paths were destined to cross tonight, and it's time for your wanderings to end. She reached out for me with one outstretched hand. My face fell like a stone. I could see that she knew my true heart. I wanted to scream. Her face twisted, and I could see her true self. I suddenly knew who she was, seeking me out from the deep forest. I wanted to tell her that I could still satisfy her hunger with my suffering, with my hate. But I knew it was too late for that. She was here to take me from this world. I grasped my knife with a stained glass blade, and as quick as I could, I slashed at her outstretched hand. On her palm, a wound opened, but no blood. No change in the hue of her skin either. Only mild surprise passed across her face. I froze in terror. No other words were spoken, but I could see that she knew that I had no more hatred, not for my circumstance, not for those I used to blame, only forgiveness in my heart and a longing for peace. With an unworldly strength, she grabbed me by my throat, and she lifted me onto the ground, into the air. With her touch, my strength left me. My knife fell from my hand and clattered on the cobblestone. If only there were more you could have given me, she said. Then, as so many times before, the angry rose in me. How dare she steal from me what I had managed to save all these many years? My life was hard, but I had survived. The pain, the humiliation, the despair, the brutal cold. Yes, yes, were the words I heard in a gleeful outburst. She released me. And then she leaned in close and uttered her truth. Come, follow me just for the night. You'll get your rest soon enough. I followed as my feet could not choose otherwise. As the sun rose, she fell away with the dark, and my eyelids began to flutter closed. She came again the next night, and the night after that. While I am still on the street, I do not walk alone. All this I remember with stark clarity. And as a warning to you,